morning, students. Welcome back to my class again. So it's after a long break we meet. However, fine morning and happy to meet you again. In the last class, we have been seeing the drama Spanish tragedy. We have completed the plot structure of the drama and we have stopped to discuss act-wise summary. Today we will discuss the act-wise summary. So we'll start with Act 1. Act 1 consists of 6 scenes which I will be summarizing today. Okay, let's go to the class. Okay, dear students, coming to the class, the Spanish tragedy written by Thomas Kidd. So to Act 1, Scene 1. So, as you all know, the Elizabethan audience loved ghosts very much in their dramas. So, including Shakespeare and other writers, used this the ghost scene in the opening scene as a mark to satisfy the audience of Elizabeth, or satisfy the Elizabethan audience sharply. So you can see even in Shakespeare's Macbeth, you can see Macbeth has 3 witches when the play opens, and we have a ghost scene in Hamlet. And we can see there are other plays where we see ghosts, Julius Caesar, and all the writers of the Elizabethan age used this ghost scene to satisfy the people of Elizabethan people. And moreover, it was the belief of the Elizabethan audience that the ghost exists in our daily life. So, there is no doubt, no second thought that our dramatist, Thomas Kidd, has used the ghost scene in the very opening of the play. So, when the play opens, the ghost appears, and it is the ghost of Andrea, and Andrea was a nobleman in the court of Spain. He was in the court of Spain. He was a nobleman in the court of Spain, and he also loved Bel-imperia. Bel-imperia. Okay, you can see who is Bel-imperia. You know, we have discussed in the plot structure. Bel-imperia is the daughter of the Duke of Spain. Duke of Spain is there. Duke of Spain உடைய daughter தான் Bel-imperia. So we have seen Bellmperia is the daughter of Duke of Spain, and in the court of Spain, Andrea was just a nobleman, a warrior, a knight, and he was killed in the war. And there is yet another reason for the murder of Andrea, and it is his love for Bellmperia. So, but he was later killed in the war. Okay. Now, so after the death, so this happened before the play opens. இதெல்லாம் நாடகத்துக்கு முன்னாடி நடந்து முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. போர் நடந்திருக்கு. போர்ல Andrea was killed, murdered, and there is a reason because he was in love with Bellmperia, daughter of the Duke of Spain. Okay. Now, after the death, the spirit of Andrea goes to underworld. Okay, underworld is the hell or some other thing. Goes to underworld and he reaches the river named Acheron. Acheron. Acheron நதிக்கரைக்கு போறான், அந்த ஆவி போகுது. But he was not permitted, or he was blocked by Charon. Okay, he was blocked by Charon because because he was not given the funeral rites. Proper funeral rites was not performed for Andrea because he was dead in the, he was murdered or dead in the warfield, and he was not given funeral rites. So he was waiting in the river bed of Acheron in the hell, underworld. So நரகத்துல Acheron நதிக்கரையில ஆன்மா, okay, ஆண்ட்ரியாவோட ஆன்மா was waiting to enter, to take bath, to reach heaven. But he was not permitted by Charon, and as a result, after 3 days, the friend of Andrea, who is friend of Andrea, is Horatio. You can see Horatio, Horatio, Horatio is a friend of Andrea. Okay, he is a friend of Andrea, and he performs the funeral rites. As a result, now the ghost of Andrea is permitted to take bath in the river of Acheron. Okay, now after taking bath, the ghost or the spirit goes underworld, and he meets three judges named Minos, Eacus and Rhadamant. So these are the three judges whom Andrea meets in the underworld. And they, what's the role? These three judges, they decide the area of underworld where Andrea has to spend his rest of life till he attains eternity. ஸோ முக்தி அடையும் வரல எந்த இடத்துல இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றத யார் நிர்ணயிக்கிறது? These three people, that is Minos, Eacus and Rhadamant, has to decide where Andrea should live or where Andrea should exist till he attains eternity, because Andrea is murdered in the war. He was killed for love. This is most important. He was killed because he fell in love with the daughter of the king or duke. Hence, Minos decided to send him to Pluto, Ploto, Pluto, the king of underworld, to decide. So, what happens is Minos sends the spirit of Andrea to king of underworld, who is Ploto, Pluto, the king of underworld king. So, to decide. On his way to the king Plato palace, he sees three ways. So, the right way leads to the field of lovers, okay, and warriors. So, right side field of lovers and warriors. On the left side leads to deep hell, and third one is the middle one, which leads, the spelling mistake, leads to the palace of Pluto. Andrea takes the middle path. Andrea look the middle one and reach the king's palace. So எங்க போறான்? Pluto's palace க்கு reach ஆகுறார் Andrea. And in the palace of Pluto, there is wife of Pluto is Proserpine. Okay, Proserpine is the wife of Pluto, and Pluto leaves the matter of Andrea to his wife Proserpine to judge. So after a trial, Proserpine sends him with the spirit of revenge. Okay, this one. So she calls revenge spirit. So என்ன பண்றா Proserpine இன்னொரு ஆன்மாவை கூப்பிட்றா. அந்த ஆன்மா பேரு revenge spirit in the world. ஸோ அந்த ரிவெஞ்ச் ஸ்பிரிட்டை கூப்பிட்டு இவனோட போய் அவனுடைய பழி ஆசையை தீர்த்துட்டு வா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ரெண்டு பேரையும் இங்கே அனுப்பி விடுறாங்க, பூமிக்கு அனுப்பி விடுறாங்க. That's what happens here. So after the trial, Proserpine sent him with the spirit of revenge into the world. Into the world is earthly world. So into the world of earth. Into the world of into the world of earth. So பூமிக்கு யாரை அனுப்புறான்? So now Andrea, now we can see Andrea is sent, A-N-D-R-E-A. Andrea is sent with a revenge spirit to the earth by Proserpine, wife of Pluto, who is the king of the underworld. So this happens in scene 1, act 1. This is the importance of the opening scene. So opening scene la simple நடக்குது. So Andrea is murdered in the war, and when the spirit of Andrea goes to the underworld, he is blocked by Charon to take bath in the river, Acheron river, to attain eternity. Because so he was blocked because he was not given funeral rites. As a result, what happens? As a result, what happens after 3 days? His funeral rites, his friend Horatio gives him the funeral rites, proper funeral rites. As a result, he is allowed to take bath. And after taking bath, he goes to meet three judges named Minos, Eacus, and Rhadamant. Okay, Rhadamant, Eacus, and Minos. And they, unable to take a decision, they send him to Pluto because he was killed for love, and he was sent to Pluto, the king of the underworld, to decide. And when he goes to the palace of Pluto, he meets he finds three ways. One is right side goes for lovers and warriors, the left side goes deep hell, and the middle one leads to the palace of Pluto. And Andrea takes the middle way, and he reaches Pluto's palace. And in the palace, Pluto gives the trial to Proserpine, and Proserpine calls his revenge spirit to accompany Andrea to the earth to satisfy the revenge of Andrea. Now that comes the end of Act 1, Scene 1. Next, what happens? Now, Act 1, Scene 2. And Act 1, Scene 2 opens in the Spain. It opens in Spain. Duke of Castile and brother of King. King Oடைய brother, and he is the Duke of Spain, Duke Castile. And there is his marshal, that is Duke Castile Oடைய marshal, Duke of Castile, and there is Hieronima is the knight marshal, who is the father of Horatio. He is the father of Horatio, and Duke of Castile, father of Bellmperia. Father of, I will just write in a short, Bellmperia. Now, you can see there are two persons. One is the Duke of Castile, and Hieronima, who is the father of Horatio, and his position is Knight Marshal. And they are discussing about the battle with the Portugal. Portugal சண்டை நடக்குது, அதோட இதை பற்றி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்காங்க. Now the Duke says to the king that Spain has got victory over Portugal with a little loss. So now it is the Spain has got the victory. Spain has got the victory, and now the matter is reported to the king. Now, what about the war? Now he says the prince Andrea is killed. Andrea is killed in the war. Andrea is killed in the war. Who is the soldier or noble person in the court of Spain? Now he was killed by Balthazar. He was killed by Balthazar, the prince of. Okay, Balthazar யாருன்னு பார்ப்போம். P-H-A-Z-A-R, Balthazar. Who is Balthazar? Prince of Portugal. Now Portugal உடைய இளவரசன். Very good. Now this is the news which is given to the king. Now he says the Spain has got victory over the war with Portugal, and but Andrea, the noble man or the army man of the Spain, is killed, and he was killed by Balthazar, the prince of Portugal. However, Balthazar was captured as captive. Balthazar பிணை கைதியாக கொண்டு வரப்படுறாங்க. So he was captured as captive by Horatio. But Horatio, who is Horatio? son of Hieronyma, அதே மாதிரி friend of Andrea. So Balthazar Andrea கொன்ன பிறகு Horatio Balthazar என்ன பண்றான், பிணை கைதியா ஸ்பெயினுக்கு கொண்டு வந்துறான். Okay, now he is Balthazar is a captive, captive, captive பிணை கைதியாக இங்கே கொண்டு வரப்படுறான். Okay, no fine. He says Don Andrea was put to death by Balthazar. He further talks about the capture of Balthazar by Horatio. Okay. Now further he says that Viceroy of Portugal offered to pay tribute to Spain if his army stopped their attack. Okay. Now there is a peace talk between the King of Spain and Portugal. So peace treaty. What is peace treaty? So the Portugal king has asked the king of Spain to stop the war, so that he is ready to offer whatever the king of Spain asks. So on the peace treaty the king of Spain accepts the offer. He asks Hieronyma to celebrate the success of his son's capture Balthazar. So இதுக்கு இடையில என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா, so Balthazar, son of Duke of Castile, is where is that? Okay. Lorenzo. Okay. Lorenzo யாருன்னா son of Duke and brother of Bel-imperia. Okay. So what happens is when Horatio claims that he has captured Balthazar, Lorenzo too claims that he was involved in capturing Balthazar. So ரெண்டு பேரும் போட்டி போடுறாங்க. So what happens is so the army returns. So after the peace treaty, the army returned and Balthazar is held as slave, and Horatio and Lorenzo contest to receive the credit for the capture of Balthazar. So ரெண்டு பேரும் போட்டி போறாங்க. Lorenzoவும் Horatioவும் they claim to the king for price for capturing Balthazar. The king finally asked Lorenzo to take the weapons and the horse of Balthazar. So Lorenzoக்கு என்ன கொடுக்கப்படுது, பல்தாசருடைய குதிரையும் அவனுடைய வெப்பன்ஸும் அவனுக்கு கொடுக்கப்படுது. And king promises Horatio the money, ransom money, பிணை தொகை. Okay, ransomனா பிணை தொகை to Horatio. And he further asked Lorenzo to take Balthazar to his estate. So பல்தாசரை அவனுடைய எஸ்டேட்டுக்கு தனியாக கூட்டு போக சொல்லிடலாம். Okay, here comes the scene 2, closest scene 2, act 1, scene 2. So we can see, we'll just sum up what happens in scene 2. So scene 2 is scene 2 opens in Spain, and there are two people, Duke of Castile and Hieronyma, and the Hieronyma is the knight marshal of Duke of Castile and father of Horatio, and they are discussing about the war happenings with Portugal. And Duke says that now the message comes that they have won the war, and Andrea was put to death, was killed in the war, and Balthazar is captured as captive by Horatio. And there is also another news from the king of Viceroy of Portugal for a peace treaty, அமைதி உடன்பாடு. And the king of Spain accepts the peace treaty. As a result, Balthazar is brought to the palace as a captive. And when Balthazar is brought to the palace, both Lorenzo and Horatio claim பண்றாங்க for the capture of Balthazar, and at last the king gives price equally to both of them. Lorenzo is given the horse and the weapon, and Horatio is given the ransom money which the Portugal viceroy is ready to give for Balthazar. Okay, there the act 1 scene 2 comes to an end. And now coming to act 1 scene 3. So in scene 3 it opens in the court of Portugal. So scene 2 opens in the court of Spain, scene 3 opens in the court of Portugal. So in Portugal there are two persons, Alexandro and Villupo. They enter. Villupo and Alexandro enter. They deliver the news about the defeat of Portugal. So Portugal is defeated. Now Viceroy mourns the death of his son. Who is the son? Son name is the son. What is the name of the son? Is Balthazar. Okay, you remember. So Balthazar. Balthazar is the son of Viceroy of Portugal. Now Alexandro comforts the king. He says that his son was captured as ransom, not dead. So என்ன சொல்றான் அரசன்ட்ட அலெக்சாண்டோ உங்க மகனை பிணை கைதியா தான் பிடிச்சி போயிருக்காங்க கொல்லப்படல அப்படின்றான் ஆனா வில்லுப்பு comes forward and tells the king that in the battlefield his son fought with Horatio. Unfortunately Alexandro killed him with a pistol அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சொல்றான் just for getting rank. And Viceroy believes the story of Villupu and asks his god to hang Alexander. To hang Alexander. So and the scene, third scene comes to an end, and you'll see what happens in the next scene. Now, Act 1, Scene 4, most important scene. Now it again opens in Spain. Now the scene opens in Spain. In Spain, there are two persons now. Bel-imperia, the daughter and lover, daughter of Duke of Spain, daughter of the Duke of Spain, and Horatio. Who is Horatio? Son of Hieronima. So, son of Hieronima, okay, this Hieronima. Okay. They are talking, walking in the garden. And Bel-imperia was in love with Andrea in the past. Okay, Bel-imperia loved Andrea. Hence, she asked Horatio about the happenings of the war. So, he narrates, Horatio narrates the death of Andrea to Bel-imperia in the warfield. Andrea was thrown by Balthazar army men and killed by Balthazar. So, Balthazar killed by Balthazar. Okay, Andrea, who was killed Balthazar by Andrea was killed by Balthazar. So he was killed by Balthazar. So he narrates, Horatio narrates, and he narrates how he arrested Balthazar as a prisoner and safeguarded the dead body of his friend to his tent and gave the funeral rites. Funeral rites. He says after he was killed by Balthazar, after Andrea was killed by Balthazar, that is Horatio, fought with Balthazar and he captured Balthazar as a slave and he took the dead body of Horatio to the tent to give the funeral rites. He also recounts how he took the scarf, this is the most important symbol of love, that is scarf of his friend as a token of remembrance and from the dead body of Horatio dead body, from the dead body of Andrea dead body அந்த scarf எடுத்தத அந்த scarf வந்து Bel-imperia கொடுக்கலாம். Okay, now Bel-imperia says that it is her scarf which she gave before Andrea went to war as a token of love. She asked Horatio to wear it and Horatio accepts. It is a symbol of love and Horatio accepts the love of Bel-imperia. Now Bel-imperia confesses her love to Horatio and Horatio accepts her. And when she is alone, Bel-imperia says that only it is through the love of Horatio she can seek revenge for the murder of his lover Andrea. So she well knows that Balthazar is in love with love. She also knows that Balthazar wants to marry her, but still she wants to take revenge for the murder of his lover Andrea. So he loves Horatio so that he can seek the revenge. Now what happens after Horatio goes away, Balthazar enters and He is followed by Lorenzo, the brother of Bellmperia. And Lorenzo asks the reason for his sister's sadness, the Bellmperia's sadness. He also asks his sister to talk to the prince Balthazar. Bellmperia shows no reaction to Balthazar. Lorenzo consoles Balthazar. They leave Bellmperia to attend the feast given in the court for the arrival of Portugal ambassador. So now Act 4 closes with the arrival of the ambassador who comes for a peace treaty. அமைதி உடன்பாட்டுக்காக போர்ச்சுகல் ambassador வர்றாரு ஸ்பெயின் நாட்டுக்கு. ஸோ அவங்கள பார்க்க போறாங்க. Now Lorenzo convinces Balthazar that his sister is moved out and she will talk later. அது சொல்லிட்டு they go out of they go away to receive the ambassador of Portugal. So that the Act 1 scene 4 comes to an end. Now Act 1 scene 5 and scene 6, very short scene. Act 5, it opens in the King of Portugal, in the King of Spain. It opens in Spain. So Act 5 opens in Spain. Again, it is the arrival of Portugal ambassador. Okay, the Portugal ambassador tells to Balthazar about his father's mourning, but Balthazar says that he was only killed by the beauty of Bellmperia. So now Balthazar has fallen in love with Bellmperia, and he sends a message through the Portugal ambassador that he wants to marry Bellmperia. The king asks the marshal to arrange for the entertainment. So now the marshal is the father of Horatio. So father of Horatio அவனை கூப்பிட்டு கெஸ்ட் என்டர்டைன் பண்றதுக்கு நாடகம் போட சொல்றாரு யாரு கிங். So Hieronyma enters. He is followed by a group of actors. 3 actors are wearing night dress. The next 3 players are wearing king's dress. A mask is done for the dress for the guest. A mask. After the mask, the king proposes the toast to the guest. So there is a entertainment goes on scene 5. So that ends. And again scene 6. Now scene 6 it is like a chorus. So scene 6 is like a chorus where you can see Don Andrea blames the ghost for not fulfilling the desire. Now who is the ghost? The revenge spirit. For not fulfilling what is the desire? Revenge. Revenge for murder is the desire. So this desire is not taken care. So எல்லாரும் அவங்கவுங்க வேலையை பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. வாட் அபவுட் மை டிசைர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி டான் ஆண்ட்ரியா கோஸ்ட்டை பார்த்து கோவப்படுறான். அண்ட் கோஸ்ட் ப்ராமிசஸ் ரிவெஞ்ச் சூன் பிஃபோர் த பிளே கம்ஸ் டு an end. ஸோ இது வந்து ஆடியன்ஸ்க்காக சொல்கிறாங்க. ஸோ சீக்கிரம் ஒரு ஒரு பழி வாங்கும் படம் நடக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி முடிக்கிறாங்க. The Act 1 comes to an end. So you can see what happens, a short summary of what happens in Act 1. So Act 1 opens with the ghost scene in the hell. After the murder of Andrea, Andrea is stopped to pass the river, and after the funeral rites is given, Andrea crosses the river. He takes the bath and crosses the river, and he meets 3 judges, and the 3 judges unable to decide what to do, they send him to Pluto, and Pluto unable to make a decision, he sends to Proserpine his wife, and his wife calls the spirit of revenge to accompany Andrea to the earth. And the story opens in Spain. The Duke of Castile discusses about the war with Portugal, and the news comes that the Spain has won the war with the death of Andrea, and Balthazar is captured. The Prince of Portugal is captured as captive, and both Lorenzo, son of Duke of Castile, and Horatio, son of Hieronyma, they claim for the capture of Balthazar. So, and the king gives the horse and the weapon to his son Lorenzo, and the ransom for Balthazar to Horatio. And in the next scene, most important scene, where we see Bellmperia, daughter of the Duke of Castile, and Horatio walking in the garden, and they are discussing what happened in the war field. And Horatio says that his lover Andrea was murdered by Balthazar in the war, And after the death of his friend Andrea, he captured Balthazar and he gave proper funeral rites to his lover Andrea. And he also says that he has taken the scarf as a token of love from his neck. Now, Bellmperia asks Horatio to wear the scarf as a token of love, and Bellmperia, after Horatio leaves the place, Bellmperia talks to herself. She says, "I will seek." She will seek revenge with the love of Horatio. So she decides to seek revenge by killing Balthazar. So in the next scene opens the arrival of the Portugal ambassador. The Portugal ambassador arrives and there is a peace treaty goes between the two countries, Spain and Portugal. Okay, now the peace treaty is arrived between two countries, Spain and Portugal, and a entertainment, a mask, an SQUE drama is arranged for to entertain the ambassador of Portugal. And the revenge spirit or the Don Andrea as a ghost gets angry because his desire to take revenge is not satisfied now, not yet taken. It's good, but the revenge spirit promises revenge soon. There the act one comes to an end. Thank you. Thank you for students. Listen to the audio, download the material and attend the quiz. Thank you.